The research shows that in as little as 90 days, your brain and your life can look dramatically different. No matter how badly you're struggling with porn, you can be a clean and a free man, but you have to be intentional. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. And in this episode, I'm going to show you your exact 90-day freedom plan to ensure you make the most of these first 3 months of the new year so you can get clean this year and never look back. Let's jump in. My name is Sathiya Sam. Welcome to the Man Within podcast. I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in. I have dedicated the last 7 years of my life to helping men quit pornography. I'm an international speaker and an author of a book called The Last Relapse that's helped over 20,000 men quit pornography and learn the same strategies that I'm going to teach you in this episode today. Guys, I'm so glad that you've joined in, and I'm really just excited to jump in because we have some really high-grade material that I know is going to help you a lot. Now, I will start by saying that if you do any of our coaching programs, and if you've ever done any of our programs over the last few years, you will notice that we do not do our programs for 90 days. We do them for 120 days, okay? And I'm going to explain that right away before I give you your 90-day freedom blueprint, okay? The data shows that 90 days is enough for you to destroy bad habits, replace them with good ones, and start to get momentum going. Here's what I found, because there's a lot of programs out there that are 90 days, and people are like, well, why would I do your 120-day program if I could just go and do someone else's program and get the same result in 90 days? Well, how long have you struggled with pornography? Probably 10, 15, 25, 35 years. And it's a little bit silly to think that in 3 months you can just magically reverse 2 decades, 3 decades of a really destructive habit. Now, is an extra 30 days really going to make a difference? Yeah, it is. And the data actually shows that as much as 90 days is a great marker for you to reset your habits and get things set in place, the continuation after those 90 days is just as important. And so we like to set people up for the continuation. We want to still guide them. We want to make sure they have lots of accountability, and that if there's some stumbles along the way in this momentum phase, as it were, kind of that phase 2 after the 90 days, that we can help them. And so I just want to give you kind of a bit of my philosophy before I jump into the 90-day freedom blueprint. Now, what I'm going to show you is basically what you do month 1, month 2, month 3. And if you follow this, you will basically set yourself up for incredible success. And I'm really not kidding here. This is after helping over 1,000 guys personally. This is after being free of pornography for almost 10 years. Next month, it'll be 10 official years. And I'm telling you, this stuff works. You just got to execute on it. So let's jump in. Okay, month 1 is the big reset. Okay, that's what this is called. Month number 1 is the big reset. And this is about doing 2 things, all right? We need to eliminate all the things that are distracting, the things that are triggering, the things that are problematic, whatever else it might be. That's the first thing we need to do. And number 2 is we need to start connecting. Okay, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's start with elimination. Deleting news, social media, obviously any content you have that is inappropriate, pictures, images, anything that you're storing, all that stuff needs to get removed. If news and social media aren't triggering for you, fine, keep them on. But for most guys, they are. So I'm not saying delete your accounts. I'm just saying delete them off your phone. Okay, let's clean up the phone. That's a big one. If you're not willing to go that far, at the very least, turn notifications off. So we need to really turn the volume down on dopamine. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is we want to have intentional times where we're on our phone and intentional times when we're not. So I am in do not disturb mode from 8 p.m. at night until 12 noon the next day, every single day. Saturday, I'm in do not disturb mode every single hour of that day. It's in do not disturb mode the entire time. So the reason we do this is if we are too flippant with our phone, we are prone to relapse. And we are prone to relapse in ways that we don't even realize it, because just a little bit of doom scrolling here kind of revs the engine. Then we check out some racy content there. Then we get into a heated text exchange with someone. And before you know it, everything's racing, escalating, and pornography becomes an easy way to cope. We've got to eliminate all the distractions, okay? Also think about your environment, where you work, where you're at home. Are you charging your phone in your bedroom? You shouldn't be doing that. Charge it outside. Like little things like that go a long way. If you want my full tech optimizer list, just DM me Tech Optimizer on Instagram. I have a full checklist. You can literally follow it through. Okay. The second thing we want to do is we want to connect. So this is where we start to find brotherhood. We want to start finding coaches. We want to start finding content like this podcast, or maybe it's digging into the book that I mentioned, The Last Relapse. You can get a free copy of that, by the way, at thelastrelapsebook.com. Anything that's going to help you start connecting with material and connecting with other people is going to go a really long way. Maybe for some of you, this is about connecting with God. Maybe you got to get back on track there. Whatever it is and whatever it looks like, it's time to connect again. That's the most important thing. And you can start small here, okay? Now, we need to see this escalate in the months ahead, but you can start small. Maybe you join a free community. Maybe it's, you join a paid community, or you join a coaching program. You can do it however you want. But the point is, you start small, but you connect. You're not doing this thing alone. This is necessary for month one, okay? Month number 2 is we get to the roots. Okay, this is the real root work. This is where it begins. So this is where we're going to start addressing trauma. We're going to start identifying issues from our childhood that might be contributing to pornography. I've shared extensively on the podcast about how my relationship with my mom actually drove a lot of my behavior viewing porn, even though my mom's amazing. And I actually had a relatively good, or at least stable, relationship with her. There were some potholes. There were some issues. And those issues ultimately drove me to some really destructive behavior. The key with month 2 is that you need a really good guide. Because if you do guesswork trying to heal from your trauma, it almost never works out. And even if it does, it takes you 5 times as long. And we don't have 5 times as much time. We have 90 days. And so it's very important in month 2 that you are doing this with the expert guidance of somebody that you trust. And I want to really emphasize that it's not about somebody who's got all the letters behind their name, although that can be helpful. It's not about the person who's the most charismatic and speaks eloquently. It's the person that you will trust even more than you trust yourself. Because if you don't trust them more than you trust yourself, when they ask you to do things that you're like, I don't get that, or why should I do that? You won't do it, and you won't get the fruit of following their great advice. And so it's not about the quality of the advice, it's about how much you trust that person. That needs to be the determining factor when you find an expert. In month 3 is where we start to rebuild our new identity. Okay, this is really critical because you cannot outbehave your beliefs. If you believe you're a porn addict, you will continue to watch pornography by faith, or you'll white knuckle your way through and you'll always be one bad decision away and you'll live in misery and your past will hang over your head like a dark cloud and you will be a miserable person. It's no way to live. We have to build a new identity. Scripture says that we are new creations in Christ Jesus, and that's what month 3 is all about. It's about constructing that new identity. Now, I mentioned that the connection piece starts to escalate. So month 1, you can join your free community, or you can, whatever it looks like, you can plug into a paid community like Deep Clean Inner Circle or whatever it might look like. That's our community with, hundreds of guys who are getting breakthroughs and experiencing recovery. In month 2, you got to get an expert involved. So this is a different level of connection, but it's somebody who's going to help you, who is going to lead you, who's going to point you in the right direction. But month 3, if you really want to rebuild your identity, there's this critical component of identity that a lot of people don't talk about. See, they talk about your beliefs. They talk about even your habits and your actions. And, this is who I am. This is what I do. So that stuff is good. It's really, really important. Here's the thing. Here's what crystallizes and cements our identity, our new identity. Belonging. See, it's one thing to believe. It's another thing to belong. So you can believe that you are a son of God, that you're holy, blameless, and above reproach. But if your belief does not lead to a place of belonging with other men who are going to say, yes, that's true. And not only do I believe that for you, I believe it for me too. If you don't have that communal support, then you're DOA. You might get a little bit of a burst of recovery and freedom. You might get a taste of it. But if we're talking about lasting freedom so that you can actually finish the year, that when we're talking in December, you're still a free man, you got to be part of a brotherhood. You need to be part of a community. And so that is the key. That's kind of what makes all of this work. We sort of have the parts of the engine, but the community is the oil that allows all the gears to turn and everything to move without causing any friction or causing any major issue. Okay, so month 1 is all about elimination and kickstarting that connection journey. Month 2 is all about healing of the heart, addressing trauma, working through wounds of the past. And month 3 is rebuilding your new identity and making sure that we are not just focusing on what we believe, but what we're ensuring rather that our beliefs lead to a place of belonging. And guys, when this is done properly, chef's kiss, it is a beautiful thing. I've seen it again and again and again. If you want to find out what happens, day 90, month 4, you got to be part of one of our programs to do that. But I'm telling you, that's honestly not the most important thing right now. The most important thing is what you do in those first 90 days. And more specifically right now, it's what you do in those first 30 days. So get on it. Go ask yourself, what do I need to do to eliminate, what do I need to eliminate rather from my life to really set myself up for success? And where am I going to start connecting? Those are your first clues. People who download The Last Relapse for free also get a chance to join a community of people that are reading the book. So that might be a great place for you to get started. All of that can begin at thelastrelapsebook.com. In the meantime, I'm cheering you on. Freedom Week. Let's go, baby. This is so much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. I'll see you in the next one.